back to the Pineapple Party Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pineapple Party Podcast. My name is Jensen and I am your host. Today we have a very, very special guest all the way from the land down under, Australia. We got our wonderful hip-hop artist and rapper and MC, Mr. Ronks. What's up, my brother?
Well, dude, brother, shout out to
Yes,
Jensen.
sir. Hey.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
How are you doing, man? How's your day?
Yeah,
been?
bro. Good, bro. Good. I'm in between jobs at the moment and stuff, so I've had a lot of time just chilling on the laptop and shit like that. So
Making lots of good
been getting
music.
it done, man. Making beats, bro. I've been flat out with the beats. I've just been fucking around trying to get this streaming stuff up. So I just finally got Twitch sorted and stuff. So
Yeah, no,
I'm keen, bro. I'm keen.
I saw like right before we started recording just now, I saw on your Insta stories that you got your Twitch set up. You're gonna start streaming and everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I mean it'd be great to talk about it with you as well. You know, how's just the Twitch streaming going, everything like that.
Yeah, sweet. It was just the thing, bro. I was like, I watch streamers, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, like, and they're getting the bag too, you know. And like,
Yeah, Kenny
not
Beats.
that it's, yeah, Kenny definitely,
Yeah.
bro, Kenny, like Nerve MP3 and stuff, and not that it's about the bag or anything, but just the fucking community that they can create around it and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's just another way of like expressing as well. So I was like, started getting into it, man, and just the other night, bro, I was like, so I use Ableton, and I've got an Apollo Twin here as my interface. And I was just having a hard time the other night, bro, like trying to figure out how to stream Ableton and use my interface microphone to set it up onto the live stream and stuff. Man, I had a rough night about it, bro.
Yeah.
So, like,
Bro,
I finally got it up and running. So yeah, I'm keen,
hell
bro.
yeah, hell yeah. No, but like to add to your point, I've seen a bunch of setups, especially from like these like audio engineers, like these super professional kind of vibe guys, right?
Yeah.
And it's so complex. Like for a simple little stream, it's so complex. They got this mic set up. They got like twin monitors on above their like laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
They've got like the laptop keyboard and then a separate keyboard. Raw. It's different.
It goes
for
crazy. So yeah, that's what I was saying to you before we sort of started. Like I've got a mic, man. I've got a good like studio microphone, and I couldn't get it running, bro. So I went out today and I copped the little old faithful, man. So little blue snowball. So we're in action.
Yeah. You know the classic stay for a reason, hey?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, to start this interview off, can you tell me about, you know, where specifically did you grow up and what was your childhood or what was growing up in Australia like?
So I was born in Bacchus Marsh, which is like western suburbs of Melbourne in Victoria, obviously. Was born there, grew up with my family there, went to primary school there, and then went to St. Pat's College in Ballarat for high school. So sort of transitioned from like year 7s, maybe year 8, sort of transitioned to moving it over into Ballarat after my parents split up around that similar time. So moved to Ballarat, and that's where I sort of, you know, primary school was one thing, but coming to high school, that's where you meet some true friends and stuff like that. So it was good, man. Grew up Ballarat, like seen it all, done it all the normal stuff, clubbing underage, you know, this and that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an interesting little place. Not living there now, and I'm sort of probably wouldn't go back there, but no, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. And now you've moved down to Melbourne.
I'm living in Geelong at the moment. I'm still living with my parents. Just sort of saving at the moment and stuff for a house, whatever.
Gotcha.
But I've got Chooka in Melbourne. He's got a couple of boys. Chooka, shout out to Chooka, Setho, LRC, Stocksy, Haas. So those boys live up in Melbourne, so I sort of just can go up there.
Pop by anytime, in and out. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, because I think By the way, for context, we met at the Ripe Hip Hop shows,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
we'll get to for sure. But I was talking to someone at one of them shows that I forgot if I was on like the main thing or if I was just opening, but there
Yeah.
were a couple guys that were like hanging out outside the show after I just came off the stage, and they
Yeah.
told me like, oh, they're from Ballarat as well, and they drove all the way down to Melbourne just for the show.
Yeah, there's a few of the Ballarat heads that come down and stuff, which is sick, bro. Like, so once we started making music in Ballarat, we obviously found a couple of heads that were on a similar vibe and stuff like that. So we got to link in with them, done some stuff with them a couple of years ago. So it was good to see them come down and start supporting stuff as well. It's fucking mad.
Right. So within Ballarat itself, there's like a strong hip hop community. Would you say so?
I wouldn't say it's strong, but
Mm.
there's some heads there, man. There's just it's hard to I feel like it's hard to get this support from like the non-hip hop artists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
sort of us hip hop artists recognize each other, but it doesn't move. It can definitely, of course, but I feel like it doesn't often move
Yeah.
much further than that. You know?
To add to your point, I feel that way too because in Malaysia there's definitely a rap scene, but it's never really mainstream enough for everyday people to be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's Malaysian rap. It's
Yeah.
more like you only know if you're in it yourself.
Yeah, yeah, of
And
course, yeah,
to add to your point, I think it's like I feel like hip hop's just this thing where it's so unique and it stands out on its own that it's not exactly the most um
sought after market, is it?
maybe, but it's not exactly the most relatable to other types of music. Like if you look
Yeah,
at
as well,
pop
yeah.
music, pop links to indie or
Yeah.
that links to band music. So there's
Yeah,
a lot
into
of
rock or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But like hip hop's kind of its own thing,
Yeah.
we don't really
Yeah.
it's not really the traditional like show up on stage, play guitar, play drums type of vibe, like
Yeah.
you go up,
Yeah.
you're jumping around like a monkey, whatever it is, like you're going crazy.
Yeah,
There's
we
like
definitely have our
pyrotechnics.
own corner. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking oath.
exactly. But then can you talk to me about what was the music scene in Ballarat like when you were growing
So
up?
we sort of started. A few of us boys. Shout out to the Cozy Mob. That's Chooka, myself, Barney Kid, and Blake Flight. So we sort of just. I was actually over on holiday in Thailand at the time, and this was in our phase. We would have been like sort of 18 years old. This was
Oh
our
wow.
clubbing phase. We were going out a lot. Like we were messing up a bit, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was over in Thailand, and I get a message from the boys, and they're like, "Hey, Ronky, bro, like check this out." And I'm so like, what are these guys doing? And I'm like, oh, they've made a song, and I'm like listening to the song. I'm like, oh my god, the boys have started rapping, bro. I was like, it's like,
Yeah, let's go.
let's go. So as soon as I got home from Thailand, I was like, yeah, straight over to the boys' house. Like, what are we
Sign me
doing?
up.
We had the little, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So that's where it all
amazing.
began, man. Yeah.
Right. So whose idea was it? Would you credit this whole thing with?
I'd probably have I'd probably have to credit Chooka, bro. Chooka, Boney, and yeah, Blake Fly because
Shout out to them.
I was shout out to the boys. I was
Yeah.
overseas and I got back and they had like maybe 4 tracks in the bank. They had a little MacBook using
Oh, wow.
GarageBand. They were just using GarageBand. They had a little they pinched Blake's older brother's microphone off him and they just pinched it and took it into their like master bedroom wardrobe and they had a
Yeah.
mattress in there. It was all crazy and it was dope.
Oh wow. Okay. So they set up properly. Like the
Yeah, I
entire
mean-
do-it-yourself setup, right, with the
Yeah,
mattresses
exactly.
and
The,
everything.
the DIY. Yeah.
Hey, that's the best though.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere,
You
don't
know?
you, bro? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you've seen I don't know if you've seen, but there are videos of Travis Scott out there where he records his songs with a towel over his head.
Yeah.
And like this guy can afford the best studios in the world.
That's
But he's got like some hotel towel covering his head, and then he's
Yeah, that's
recording Grammy, I don't know, like Grammy quality songs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I suppose like you wouldn't let if you've got a creative idea, you wouldn't let I'm too far away from the studio, so
Exactly.
I'm just gonna let that creative idea
Exactly.
slide, bro. Like you can't really
Straight to
allow
it,
that.
bro.
So
Straight to it. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you got to get into it.
Wonderful. So wow. Okay, so you went to Thailand for just was it 1 week?
Just a family holiday. I think it was like 10 days or something like
10
that.
days? Okay, 10
Yeah,
days ish. You come back, all of the
straight
boys
into
are
it.
rappers.
Straight into it. Straight into it, bro. How cool.
Yeah. Hey, there might be a Grammy waiting for you next holiday you go on to, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to go on another one just so we,
Yeah,
yeah.
10 days as
When I get
well.
back, they'll be like, "Hey, Ronky, bro, we went fucking platinum on the record." We'll be like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
let's go.
yeah,
That's amazing.
hell yeah."
Well, talk to me about how hip hop started in Australia. Because, I was there for just half a year, but I could tell that you guys have a very distinct sound and flavor.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how hip hop first started in Australia.
So this was I'm like still educating myself on this as well. Like this is something that I'm still learning about as well. But because for me it started like in high school with Chooka, hip hop started sort of as American artists like Hopsin, Eminem, stuff like that, Kendrick Lamar. So Oz hip hop, although it was obviously a thing at the time, it was never really on my radar until a little bit later on when we discovered like Alex Jones and Cursor and some of these guys. 360, you could throw in that. Bliss and SO, you could throw in that bracket too for that. But for me personally, I never resonated as much with the Aussie side of things for a while. Like the boys started getting into it, and I was sort of just like, yeah, let me chill on my like Kendrick sort of steez or whatever.
Gotcha.
And it was only more closer up to the date where we actually started making our own music that I could relate to the Australian music a lot more, sort of thing. So once we started, that's when I was like, okay, I really want to educate myself on the scene now. I want to learn what I've been missing out on, type thing. And that's where I discovered like some of the older heads like Brad Strutt and Bias B, who have been doing their thing for like before hip hop in Australia was even a thing. Like these guys would have
Pioneers,
probably got,
basically.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, these guys would have got bullied in fucking school for like being that little loser that tries to spit raps type thing, and they were,
Yeah.
they obviously stuck fat and pioneered the way for everyone else, which is sick, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could go decades back, and it relates a lot into like graffiti as well. So a lot of the pioneers, intertwined with graffiti and like
Street art, that kind of
street
vibe.
art, yeah, like
Yeah.
paint and drains, like all sorts of bit of crime life as well. That's heavily influenced in Australian hip hop, just like the crime life and stuff.
Right. So I feel like in a way it's quite similar to how hip hop all over the world developed. It's just this
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course, yeah,
like the whole message of freedom. Like I do what I want. I want to represent myself. I want to express myself. I don't want to have
yeah,
to conform to how everybody does it and be this clean cut
yeah,
suit wearing, like nerd or
yeah,
whatever. But
100%.
yeah.
And you can sort of see that in the characters that like in the OGs or the pioneers of, and even like to today's like era of Australian hip hop artists, you can see that not a lot of people are sort of like you were just saying, like everyone's trying to sort
Corporate.
of they're on
Yeah.
their own. Yeah, no one's on that shit. Everyone's on their steez, like
Yeah.
they're not worried about the mainstream or what's going on in fucking the tall office towers or whatever like that. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, was it always hip hop for you? Was the plan always hip hop? Because I know you spoke about how rap really just came because the boys decided, hey, like let's record, we can make music.
yeah,
Let's set up mattresses, let's record music.
yeah. No, that
So
was just it was spontaneous as
yeah,
fuck, man. Like, and it was never really like the plan, but like once we got the ball rolling, we were just sort of like having so much fun and sort of finding the passion for it that we're like, well, we're not gonna stop now,
yeah.
really. Like,
Why stop? Yeah,
yeah, 100%. So whatever was to happen in the future, like I don't care, man. Like I'm happy with what's going on around me and the place that I'm at. I couldn't never ask for it, bro. So whatever happens from the future on out,
yeah,
that's in someone else's hands, brother.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, the best things are usually spontaneous, right? So like,
Exactly right. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
celebrate it as it is for sure.
Yeah.
But did you have any plans beforehand? Like, were you thinking of any specific career pathways that you wanted to go down before this music thing came up?
Not something that's like nothing that was like started music, so I've lost this. Like there was nothing that was like concrete for me.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, I don't know if we started the podcast or not, but I said I was in between jobs at the moment.
yeah.
I've actually got a job interview on Wednesday for a youth worker, bro. So
Oh,
helping
hell
like
yeah.
troubled youth and stuff like that. And you know, my mum's always saying to me like, what do you want to do? Like something sustainable, something that I can make a proper income from. And I'm always like, nah, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do something like that. But this youth work position's come up, and I've like sort of thought to myself, and I'm like, that's something that maybe I could actually do. Like it sort of can relate, like it intertwines with like collaborating with music and stuff. Like I've
Yeah.
worked with troubled kids in music and stuff like that. And I was like, damn, like maybe youth work something I feel myself a path that I could go down type of thing.
Yeah, plus it's one way to really get involved with the community, actually
Yeah,
make an impact, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I'm hoping to land something like that. So
Oh,
see
you're
what
gonna get it,
happens.
bro. I got full
That's
faith,
what's
man.
up.
Yes, sir.
That's
All the
what's
way from
up.
Malaysia, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're sending support all the way from Malaysia.
Hell
8 hours
yeah,
flight away,
manifest.
man. Yes, sir. Well then, yeah, you talk about how hip hop was spontaneous, but ever since you really got into it, you really started immersing yourself in the Australian hip hop culture. Not just Kendrick, not just Eminem, not just Hobson, but actually what the local scene is. And, obviously now you got your job interview as well. So, what does hip hop mean to you? And why hip hop? Of all
I
genres.
mean, I couldn't tell you why. I was sort of talking to a homie about something similar. So I had a homie come over on the weekend. He's a techno DJ,
Oh,
and
wow.
like I've never, like techno is not my thing,
Yeah,
and like hip hop's not his thing. And
yeah,
we were sort of having a similar topic, but it's like I don't know what like exactly drew me to hip hop. It was just I suppose at the time my mate like Chooka was into hip hop. He got me into it, so I was sort of I don't know what the direct drive came from, but that's where I like sort of found my love for it. Like it just
yeah.
grew,
Just grew on you.
and yeah, 100%. And now it's like just hip hop to me. It's like the places I've got to go, the people I've got to meet, like the environments I've got to be in and include myself in. Like it's so wholesome to me, bro. Like I wouldn't change any of that stuff for the world, like
Yeah,
and just being able to put a smile on someone's face or someone says, "Oh, really like his music that you do." I'm just like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
yeah.
nothing that can change that feeling, bro.
I mean, hey, y'all got stage presence too, man. So it's
Yeah,
it's always
hell yeah.
fun. Y'all got stage
Thank you. Yeah,
presence. I seen
it's
the
always
clips.
lit, bro.
Yeah, I seen you guys perform
Hell
live
yeah.
as well. Like
Yeah,
crazy, crazy stuff.
yeah, hell yeah. Likewise, though, bro. Your shit was jamming.
Thank you, brother. Um, yeah, okay, that's interesting. I feel like it is quite refreshing to hear someone just go like, you know what, I just really like the music and it just grew on me. Because
Mm.
I've spoken to people in the past and we've always heard stories, right? It's like, oh, my mom shot my dad when I was little and now I gotta drop bars and
Yeah,
all that, like.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just refreshing to see people who just do it because they love the music too. And it's a
yeah,
reminder
yeah,
that
yeah,
like music is so subjective and music is so free and expressive that there is no right reason to do it.
yeah, yeah.
As long as you love it, hey,
Nah, I couldn't
go
agree.
for it, man. Yes, sir.
Go for it. Yeah, that's what I say. Like, and don't get me wrong, I do know people in the Australian hip hop scene that have come from
From
pain and
that,
suffering and
yeah,
they do have stories to tell about that life and stuff like that. And,
yeah,
and they like, that's what I mean. Now I get to connect with someone like that and hear their stories as well. It's like,
yeah,
it's awesome. It's awesome, bro. Yeah.
yeah. And it's so expressive that you can witness stories from all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Like for me, I come from a pretty normal household, went to school, I'm doing uni,
Yeah.
that kind of vibe. But I've also
Yeah.
met people who, like you said, right, did come from that life of, you know, um, very unfortunate
Yeah.
backgrounds or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And can you describe your style of music in
See,
any way, shape, or form?
it's tough to sort of
Yeah.
It's like, and you would know too, like you're sort of your
Yeah.
own worst critic as well. So it's like, it's a tough question, but I feel like I've like spoke to Chooka, I've spoke to mates about this in the way that they've described. Like they're like a lot of people say they love my voice and like the raw, like
Yeah.
the way I could describe it in a couple of words is like a raw underground Melbourne sound.
Oh
That's all
wow.
I got
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
That's all I
Okay.
got for you, bro. Like,
It's very intriguing
um,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
But more lately, I feel like I'm sort of ready to like open myself up to like experimenting with different sounds and like using my voice in different ways and stuff like that, which I've never really thought of before. I've always been really structured in the way
Right.
I write my bars, or you know what I mean, or the way my style was. And only recently do I feel that I could branch out on that and try something new stuff.
Well, in that case, can you talk to us about that? Like, what have you tried experimenting with? New song
So
structures or new genres that you're incorporating? Yeah, tell
So
us.
shout outs to my boy As Quick as Possible. I went to uni with this homie. He's like a hardware synthesis producer, but he taps into the hip hop sort of production as well. He just sent me some beats a couple of weeks ago, and I sort of he's got a really unique style as well. So I feel like that helped influence something to come out of me. But yeah, I was just playing these beats, and I was like, ready to sort of do my normal routine. And I was just like something else, I was just feeling something else, like more melodic, harmony sort of
Right.
style. So I was like, damn, I'm not even going to write anything. I just hopped up and like recorded on the microphone, like something different, and came out something completely different to what I've done before. And I was like, well, there you go. Like, I didn't even have to write down or anything like that. So
Yeah.
that was one element that was new to me. And then the other sort of element that was new to me as well is I just recently did freestyle rap battles in Melbourne. So
Yeah, I saw. I would love to talk to you
yeah,
about that.
so that consisted of like obviously you're freestyling, you're not writing shit down. So I was
Yeah.
practicing my freestyling and like styles with that, and it's like, and I've got to straight attack this guy as well. So it was like,
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, man. Like
Oh, me too,
I don't
brother.
want,
You and me both.
yeah,
You and me
yeah.
both.
So I'm like, I gotta dig into this guy, bro. So that
Yeah.
was like another sort of thing that was new to me as well, and I had to battle. And yeah, I managed to win my first round of battling, so I was like super stoked with that.
Hell yeah, man.
I got kicked out in the second round, but yeah, no, overall it was a
Hmm.
sick experience and sick to be a
Yeah.
part of it.
That's the one thing that I've thought about so many times, but I could never get myself to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I just can't
Bro,
do it,
like
bro.
so, like
Respect to you.
no, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nerves, man. Like I remember my first show that I was going to play, I was hella nervous. I remember like doing this rap stuff and getting so nervous about it, and then like this battle, man, it was like a different kind of nervous,
Different
bro.
thing,
Like
right? Different kind of
yeah, I
beast,
was
bro.
like, oh man, it was
Yeah.
just. But that's beauty in itself, It was like to overcome that nerve and get up there and do it. So I was, proud of myself for that, I suppose.
Yeah. One thing that I'm always fascinated by is how artists approach performances. And of course, if you're a homegrown artist performing in your hometown in a small venue, it won't be as nerve wracking as selling out, 10K or
Yeah,
whatever in
yeah,
front of some random audience, right? So,
yeah.
how did you feel, if you can describe as viscerally as possible, how did you feel going into that freestyle rap battle? And what was your motivation to actually stick through with it? Because I would have put my name down, and then hell, if I got to fly to another country, I'll fly to another country, bro. You cannot find
Yeah,
me.
so it was so the starting like force for that to happen was we went to watch the freestyle battles the year before last year. So we went to watch, and there was a guy that pulled out of the battles. So that left like an odd amount of contestants. Like not everyone
Right.
had someone to first. So Chooka just sort of put his hand up and was like, "Oh fuck it, bro! Like I'll go and battle." And I was like,
Respect.
"Yeah," and I was like, "Damn, my
Bro.
boy! Like
Bro.
hell yeah!" and he managed to like get through to the whole. He advanced to the next like to the semi-finals or some shit.
Wow.
So that for me was like, and that's my boy too. But it's like also like friendly competition. It's like
Yeah.
my Chooka's gone up and like bodied that shit now. So it's like I'm gonna have to come match this man. So yeah, so that's what sort of got me to sign up. Even with the sign ups, I was sort of nervous. I was talking to the guy, Frosty. Shout out to Frosty, and he's like, I'm like, bro, like I don't know, bro. And he's like, bro, he's like, you said you were gonna do it. Like, sign up right
Bro,
now.
put that pen right on that paper, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, signed up, and then just leading up to the night, I was just like hella practicing, man. Like practicing in different states of mind, like practicing in the morning, practicing at night, practicing stoned, practicing sober, practicing drunk. Like just seeing what was that, like where my jam was at.
Right.
On the night I got there, I was so nervous. Started drinking straight away. Like got to maybe like 5 or 6 Canadian clubs in, and that was like
God
my
damn.
little that was my little spot, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't like who knows? Could have done it sober. Maybe I'll do it sober in the future, but the nerves just got the better of me, bro. I had to take that edge off with the drinks, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I did manage to win a round, so I was super stoked, man.
Fair game, man. Fair game. Well, then did you have any thought of, let me see. Okay, so it's one thing to write your name down on the sign up sheet, but it's another thing to actually step in on the night itself.
Yeah,
So, what were your thoughts that allowed you to actually show up on the night itself?
I mean, I had like I suppose a factor was I had people coming to support as well, which I don't know if that was like a of course it was a good thing they were coming to support me, but I'm like, all you guys have to come support me tonight, bro. Like, well, like it's gonna be. I'm the most nervous I've ever. But yeah, I had my dad there, I had my girlfriend there, so it was like I don't want to like just bail on the night now,
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
and it was another thing. It was like in myself. It's like what's the point of all this practice and signing up in the first place if I'm gonna pull the pin? Like I wouldn't sort of let myself. I wouldn't lose that mental battle with myself. Like
Yeah, yeah.
the night would pass, would be the next day, and I'd be kicking myself, man. I'd be like, who knows what could have happened? I could have
True.
advanced to the finals. If I didn't try, I would never have known what happened. So,
Yeah. So for
so
you,
yeah, I feel like
it's. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
I just feel like it's always good to have a crack and put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And actually stay committed, right? Once you start on something, finish it or do not begin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Legend. Well, we've talked about Chooka a little bit. Let's
Yeah, the
talk
boy.
about, is it Wax One? Your
Yeah,
Wax One. Talk to me about
Wax
Wax
One,
One. Yeah.
Wax One. So, Chooks and myself, we met in year 7 of high school.
God damn. Okay.
And Chooks, he was also the same like type of guy to get me into hip hop. Like he influenced my music understanding and music like knowledge a lot as well. So we were just best mates all through high school. Like we come out like went to hell and back together. Like we always just we've been through shit. Yeah, come out the other side, whatever. And then when we sort of started doing the music with us and the other boys, like Chooks and I sort of just had a chemistry, sort of like a dynamic duo, like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade on the court, sort of thing, like
Yes, sir.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but we just had a natural like understanding for each other, and we just had a lot of chemistry. So it was really easy for us to work together, like musically, and then on the other side of things, like from a business aspect or whatever as well,
Also
where we
really
sort of
worked
just
out.
yeah, we just understood each other and shared a vision and like shared similar goals and stuff like that. So it just all fell into place, and it made sense for both of us just to sort of put a label on us together instead of being two individuals,
Hmm.
because we do everything together, bro. So it just made sense. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you guys navigate booking shows and well, let's start with booking shows. How do you navigate booking shows as a duo compared to just as a single artist?
As in like us playing shows for people, sort of thing, or
Well, to get shows in the first place, and then to playing it as well, and then
Yeah, okay, so
the promotional work, the marketing, everything else.
yeah. All right. Shout out to my boy Grief Gang. Shout out Grief Gang. He's a Melbourne producer I met at uni as well. Um,
Oh,
he sort of had the
camera's
webcam.
taken out.
The
Yeah.
webcam.
No. It held out for
It's
like half
back.
an
We're
hour.
back.
Okay, okay, okay.
We're back. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I met Grief Gang at uni. He was like a Melbourne producer. He sort of had a few more like connections and stuff in Melbourne than Chooka and I even sort of knew. So shout outs to him because he got us our first show ever at Laundry Bar in 2022. I'd like to say it was
Oh wow.
2022.
And Laundry Bar is pretty
Um,
huge.
Laundry Bar was pretty iconic for like Melbourne rap. Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to host they host like the biggest battles and stuff back a decade ago. Like Coasting 360 was hosted at Laundry Bar and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um yeah, first show we played there, and then like from there and just like meeting people at the show and meeting people like in the scene, sort of people just started hitting myself or Chooka up like, hey, like Ronks, do you want to do a show? And I'll be like, yeah, of course. Like never miss an opportunity. So I'd take a show, Chooka would take a show, and then we'd always sort of just do it together anyway.
Right.
We do our
Okay.
shows together. Like so even if it was only my name on the poster, I'd still be like,
You bring
my
him up
whole
on
set,
stage. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
whole sets with my whole sets with my homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and it was vice versa as well. So and that's like another factor towards why Wax One became a thing. So it's like, well, now they can put Wax One on the poster instead of just one of us or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then like shows just sort of almost eventually became like more of a frequent regular sort of thing. Like we were doing one show every couple of weeks or one show a month type thing. It was like super cool. Um, which sort of led to
Oh.
you're here in spirit, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about
No,
that.
don't be sorry. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of what led to like Ripe starting. So we did a show in St Kilda at the venue at the Vineyard. Shout outs to the Vineyard. So
Right.
Chooks and myself, we sort of thought, okay, we've been doing shows like we've done shows at Laundry, we've done shows Bad Decisions, whatever. Like similar timing, we were like ready to drop our mixtape on Spotify, our first like our debut mixtape sort of thing. So we thought let's sort of path out and branch out and see if we can just do it by ourselves without going to Laundry or whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Without another organizer being in
yeah,
control
exactly
of the event.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sort of just branched out, popped down to St Kilda. Yeah, went into a couple of venues down there, went into the Vineyard and sort of, hey, he's going. I'm Ronks, this is Chooka, like we're waxed together. We're about to release our mixtape. Like, would you guys be keen on throwing like a hip hop launch party for us and like
Right.
sort of thing? So we just put ourselves out there, bro, and that's sort of what led to our launch party at the Vineyard, which was a sick night as well. And that was our first like sort of thing. All right, we've organized it. We've organized support slots locked in. We've organized our own DJ. We've organized our own sound engineer, everything. So it was like, we just winged it really. Like we were just
Right.
learning as we went sort of thing. So it was super sick. Yeah.
So basically, how you guys got the shows was just going venue to venue, just approaching them and saying, "Hey, we do rap music. We got a debut mixtape coming out. We can get you guys people. Do you want to host it for us?"
100%. And that's like it was literally as easy as that. Like it sounds sort of like really, but like yeah, like really
Very
like,
straightforward.
that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that was it. It was just go put yourself out there, go like introduce yourself and
Yeah.
see if people are interested, you know?
Oh wow. Okay. And you did this approach physically, like face to face, no emails,
Yeah,
no
definitely.
social media, nothing.
Straight face to face. We grabbed the manager's number as we
Yeah.
left and we just went from there, man. It was yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a perfect transition because I want to talk about Ripe as well. And obviously, to my understanding, Ripe is well, it was quite new. I think you guys did your seventh or eighth event already, right?
we're
10?
about to do season 7 this month, I think. Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah. So yeah, when I first went to Australia, I think it was August when the first one came up.
Yeah.
Um, and it's basically this kind of music hip hop night thing where they have an open mic for anyone and everyone to come and perform and showcase their
Yeah.
art, but they also have like a main lineup, who are like, people who have more experience, or it can even be like people who did the open mics the last event. So
Yeah.
talk to me about what Ripe is, um, and yeah, how did you, build up from that, approaching the vineyard as Wax One to hosting the first Ripe event at the vineyard.
Yeah. Yeah. So the night of our launch party, obviously at the vineyard, we 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 sort of told when we approached the venue, we sort of said like we were like they were sort of getting a feel for us, like, oh, how many sort of people you're thinking of like bringing through the door, and like Chooka sort of oversold it a little bit. He's like, like
Yeah.
100 people will come through the door, like
Damn.
what, like no way. And I was sort of sitting there like, Chooka, bro, like
That's
100
confidence,
people,
though. That's
like
confidence.
yeah. So it was sort of like, but obviously that helped secure the spot there, and then in the end on the night we ended up getting just over 100 people in the door. So it
Hell
sort of
yeah. Hell yeah.
it was a beauty in itself, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so yeah, that night we were the owner was there that night, and Cartager was there as well, who also helps. She's a co-founder of Ripe Hip
Yeah.
Hop, and she's
Shout out
good
to her.
mates with. Shout out to Cartier, yeah.
Yeah.
She's good mates with the owner of the vineyard, so they were sort of like after our show, we're like, guy, like the owner Johnny, shout out Johnny. He was like you're just gonna have to come back. Like I want you guys to sit down. Like you did it awesome. Like you just blew me away tonight. Like you guys did awesome. Like I want you to meet like a friend, a close friend, and someone that you could be a potential business partner of mine, like Katya.
Oh wow.
And we were just sort of like, hell yeah, like definitely, bro. Like we'll be interested to see what you guys have got to say and stuff like that. So yeah, the following week or 2 weeks later, whatever it was, we sort of went back down there and sat down, and they were like, with Katya and the owner, and it's like, how do you feel? How do you guys feel about doing like a monthly hip hop show at our venue, sort of thing? You can team up with Katya and do it that way, sort of. And we were like, of course, like I said earlier in the podcast, like I'm not going to say no to a new
To an
experience or a
opportunity.
new,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly right, yeah. So we were like, hell yeah. Katya had come up with the name like Ripe. We were like, let's run with it. Definitely. I think by this point, which is maybe just over 6 months ago, Chooka and myself had enough like connections around Melbourne, or like people that we knew would be interested to sort of come and support or come and perform an open mic or come and play on the lineup and stuff. So, we sort of had the social side of it hold down, and Katya had the social media, the marketing sort of things held down as well as like some graphic design contacts, stuff like that. So it all everyone sort of had their own place, and the three of us just could put all of our heads together and sort of create this event. So that was the birth of Ripe Hip Hop. I think maybe 2 months after our launch party, we were up and at 'em Thursday
Wow.
nights. Yeah,
And still up and running. Ripe Hip Hop. Yeah. Shout out to everybody involved in Ripe. And again,
100%.
like I appreciate y'all showing me so much love. Like, cause I was only there for 5-6 months, and I'm there
Yeah,
for like an exchange program. But I performed here in Malaysia, and I knew I wanted to perform for the Australian crowd as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like, I remember I was at the doctor's or something, and I think I've been feeling really sick at the time. And then I showed up like, do you like to rap or like some stuff like that on my
yeah,
Instagram? And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, this is it. This is it. Yeah,
yeah. No, yeah,
that's
no, it's a
phenomenal.
pleasure having you through there too, bro. And like, it's a blessing really being able to, because like that's led us to this podcast together right now. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yes, sir.
so it's really a blessing to be able to give people an opportunity and be able to create new friendships and stuff like that through the
Yeah.
event as well. So it's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And now that we're talking about networking and relationships as well, what do you think is the key to building successful relationships in terms of the music scene?
I reckon like people like underestimate like just face to face. If you meet someone and you're chatting to them, like you're obviously going to connect and resonate with someone differently to typing over Instagram over a phone. You know what I mean? Like everyone that I'm sort of intertwined with now, like I met them at face value, face to face. It's like, hey, like there's no better way to network than to have a conversation in person with someone and see what they're about, see how like catch their vibes and stuff like that. And I feel like 90% of networking has come from that, just being at shows and talking to people or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Genuinely connecting to them instead of just like, hey, saw your stuff on IG, good stuff.
Yep, 100%.
Right. And overall, can you talk to me? Well, if you can, summarize the whole process of setting up, the first Ripe night? And obviously, you got the venue from you and Chooka's, um, the mixtape show that you guys had.
Yep, yep,
And then you met Katya and the owner of of the vineyard,
yep,
sorry.
yep.
But can you summarize the entire process of setting up the first show, setting up your first Ripe event, to
Yeah.
promoting it,
So
to getting the people to actually walk in through the doors and
yeah,
emceeing and hosting the entire thing? Talk to me about the entire process.
yeah. So I feel like apart from like like our business meetings, like Chooker and I would generally be together, like FaceTiming or over the phone to Katya, sort of just back and forthing out ideas or what we want to do. Like, okay, we need ticket sales, we need Eventbrite, we need a door person to sell the tickets or whatever on the night. Like, we need sound engineer, DJ, like all the nooks and crannies that sort of go into it, and just laying it all out and sort of checkboxing them and ticking them off one by one as we need it. And then I feel like it was also just a lot of trial and error, bro. Like you can't perfectly prepare for your first show. If you've never done it before, like how are you going to perfectly prepare for it? So it was sort of like just figuring out, okay, after the first show, we'd sit back down. Okay, what went good? Okay, this went good. The timing went good. This went good. What went bad? It was like, okay, we need to maybe sit the door person here. We need to start at this time. Like whatever it was, it was sort of just working it out at each month by month and just seeing what worked and what wouldn't work and coming up with like just curating the right formula to sort of just keep it rolling. I feel like we're month 7 now,
Yep.
and I feel like we're a lot more sort of comfortable.
Refined.
We all know our roles, what we need to do to prepare, set up and stuff. So I'll like organize all the open mic people. I'll get them in, like get them tuned into, tapped into what's happening, and Cardi will do all the social media sort of stuff like that. Chooka will like coordinate with the artists and make sure like the night runs smoothly, timing's all good and stuff like that. So everyone, we're building into our roles a lot better and working. Our chemistry starting to build as well with Katya. So it's just all working, yeah, well, man. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's just a trial and error. Like, okay, this didn't work. Let's not do that again. This was great. Let's do that. You know what I mean?
Right. So being willing to try, but also being critical enough to know what to continue and what to maybe change
Yep.
for the next event.
Yep. 100%.
That's what's up. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's been very insightful. When's the next event coming up?
We got 15th of Feb, so we're 10 days out.
Okay, okay.
We're 10 days out. We've got Inca, shout out Inca. We've got Raz and Arrows, shout out them boys, and we've got Six Side Tabs coming through to burn the lineup. So it should be a good night. Hopefully the weather's nice and lit for us.
Wonderful. What's the temperature right now in Melbourne?
I'll tell you, one sec. What do we got?
Because all I knew, it was cold as hell, man.
when you were there.
Yeah, it was shivering on top of the shitter, bro. That was my
We're
experience in Melbourne.
I'm at 18 degrees right now,
Okay,
so it's sort of like
that's all right. That's
yeah.
pretty chill.
Yesterday was 31 or 32 or something like that. We were in the pool yesterday. It was hot, man. So
Oh shoot. Okay.
yeah, it's been an interesting summer for Melburnians this year.
Yeah, lots of fluctuations, I heard.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you feeling over there? You hot? Are you cold?
There's no fluctuation, but unfortunately it means every day is 29 to 30 degrees and it's humid as hell.
Yes. So
So there's no
it's
winter to
hot.
look forward to, but
Yeah.
it's consistent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't need to worry about what you should need to wear tomorrow. You don't need a raincoat.
No, you're not gonna wake up at night, check your phone, and it's -2 degrees outside. No, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are your future plans with the Wright family?
I don't think we've sort of discussed it.
Pretend I'm
It's all
still
right.
here.
It's teasing us a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, oh.
It's threatening me, on the very side,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's threatening you. Yeah, I feel like we haven't discussed like a long-term sort of plan. We're just taking it as it comes at the moment, man. Like, it was sort of, it's always hard, sort of. What up, Corpy?
Doing, bro?
What up,
It's
brother?
always, he says, "What up?"
How you doing, bro?
Good, brother. Good to have you.
um, sorry,
No, you're chill.
it
You're
was
chill.
always sort of hard to like, as you're starting off, it's like, oh, is it gonna work out? Like, like you never know until you sort of keep it rolling. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think we'll just go with the flow, bro, honestly, and like keep doing the thing. At the moment, we're buzzing. Like open mics full again this month. Like I'm not sure how ticket sales are going. I haven't actually found out recently, but you know what I mean? Like just going with the flow and just
Yeah.
seeing where it takes us. Every month's always everyone has a good time. Everyone always, at least one
Yeah.
person's always like thankful for the opportunity or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and that in itself is enough for me to do it next month.
Hell yeah. And I think you guys got the ball rolling, so the momentum's
Yeah.
just gonna keep building up, and
Yeah.
good things will happen for sure.
No, 100%. That's no big shout outs to you too, bro, for showing Ripe some love and coming through and stuff like that. That
Oh,
was
much
awesome,
love to
man.
you guys, man. It's
Hell yeah.
both ways for sure. It's reciprocated.
100%. Always.
Well, speaking about future plans, what are your future plans with your music as well, and with Wax One?
See, so this is sort of a tough one for me as well. So I'm always like, I just like sort of same as I just said with Ripe, like the future and like Frosty asked me this question before New Year's. He's like, "What's your plans for next year?" And I was just
Yeah.
like, "I'll go with the flow."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, bro! Like, what's your goals and shit like that?" I'm like,
Bro, it's
man,
New
like,
Year, man. It's New Year's,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, damn, like I just sort of take it as it comes, bro. Like, like I said, that as quick as possible. Hit me with some beats 2 weeks ago. So I just did a freestyle over one of them and put it out. Like I had no plan for it. It's just spontaneity for me, man. Like I don't try and set too high expectations of myself or I feel like I'll stress myself out and stuff like that. If I just work with no sort of expectation, I can just flow. I can just keep moving and just keep doing it with no like, oh, it's got to be like this way or that way. I can just run with it.
Right. And
So I
and
just
would
keep running
you
with it, bro.
and would you advise other artists to try this approach out?
I mean, everyone's got what works for them and what doesn't work for them. For me, it definitely works for me. But like I've had people sort of say like, oh, like how did you come up with the mixtape concept or whatever? And I was like, bro, we didn't. There were 5 songs that we'd made over the last 2 years, and we sort of, as we were making the music, we were sort of like, oh, these 5 songs could be a mixtape together. Like they sort of work well. They all have a common theme, sort of thing. So Chooka said that to me. I was like, sweet, let's do that. Let's roll it out. Let's go.
That's
Like,
what's up.
and some people will, write down, oh, they want a 14-track album. They want this Sonic on it. They want this song with that. It's like, and that does work for some people. Like shout out Setho, bro. Like he's got that exact list in his phone. I want this album with that. and he pulled it off, and it's a great album. You know what I mean? But I suppose it's just whatever works for the person themselves.
Allowing yourself to, well, just make sure that you don't force it, right? It's like,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
this
that's
method works for you, then go for it. If you like something more organized, then go for that, you know?
yeah, 100%.
Right.
And then like another thing is like people will sort of stress themselves out a little bit. Like I got a homie, he'll be like, he wants to go home after work. I want to write a song tonight, and he'll go home and he's got right. I can't write. I've got writer's block, and he'll start like, he's like, I'm like, bro, don't worry about it, man. Like
Yeah.
just don't worry about writing. Like wait for the inspiration to come to you, and
Yeah.
you'll write something great. And like
Yeah.
two weeks later, he's like, bro, I just got back from here. Check out what I wrote. I'm like, what did I tell you, brother? What did I tell you? Like,
Don't stress too much about it. Don't kill yourself
yeah,
over it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, if you got any new music, I would love to share your socials on the description.
Yeah,
So
hell
that,
yeah.
whoever's watching can check it out,
Yeah,
give
I'll
your music the
try.
support.
I'll drop you a link, will I?
Yeah, just send it to me after. I'll pop it
Yeah,
in the
perfect.
description when the video comes up. Well,
Perfect,
Ronks,
bro.
you are a legend, mate. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you guys
Appreciate
over
you.
there. Yeah, over there at Ripe Hip Hop. Shout out to you guys again. It's an absolute privilege, and I had so much fun performing for y'all. So it's
Hell
it's,
yeah.
it's always a banger for sure.
Awesome, bro. Thanks for having me. Shout out Jensen. Shout out the
Yes,
Pineapple
sir.
Party podcast.
Yes, sir.
It's all
Yes,
love, bro.
sir.
It's all love.
Yes, sir. So, if you guys like this episode, you want to go show Ronks and Wax One and Ripe some love, I'll be dropping his Instagram in the description. Go hit him up. Yes, sir. Let's go get it. Let's get it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys, if you did, share it with your friends, subscribe. You know what to do. This is the Pineapple Party podcast with myself and the legend, Ronks. Much love, brother.
Love, bro. Always.